You're damn. I told you to get on iPhone, bro.
Y'all ain't gonna come on my neck, man.
I was like, wait, why'd it go quiet? What happened?
There we go. Prez, what's happening with you, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I can't call it, man. It's a good day in the A. It's been warm and sunny. What's going on your way, man?
Regular New York shit. It's kind of gray. It's kind of rainy. Sometimes it's alright. Still smells like garbage. It is what it is.
Grimy lifestyle.
Yeah, son, we out here, bro. We out here.
But yeah, man, I wanted to have you on the show, man. Of course, you and me, we go back a good 10 years, I think.
Way back, 10 years. Damn, son. Y'all, you make me feel crazy old right now. Damn.
Yo, I was thinking about this yesterday when I texted you. I was like, yo, I remember let's going at it in the Facebook group. So don't tread on this and everything.
Oh man.
So just to give y'all some backstory here. So there was this Facebook. It might still be up and running. I don't know, but basically it's a bunch of American outlaws heads just all over the country and everything. Me and Prez was basically the black sheep of the group because we were over here talking black.
Let's be real. Let's be real on that.
No, but we were the only ones really talking hey, let's open up the system, let's pro rel and all that shit, and we were doing that shit 10 good years ago. Of course, him from New York, me, I was still in Richmond at the time, and then of course with me being down here in Atlanta, I was we actually linked up. Last time I saw Prez was Soccer Bowl 2013, Cosmos and Silverbacks. That shit.
God damn.
Yeah, yeah. That. Let's just.
Are you that might be on my side then? No. I'm on a Pixel. Hold on 1 second. No,
he real fast.
I'm gonna get that. You know what? Might have been me.
Switch, man. Make the switch.
Hold up.
I made the switch. I got a Pixel 2 now, so I'm trying to figure it out, man. I got an iPhone. It's a good phone, right?
It's a fucking fantastic phone. All right. So jump back in. Wait, when we left off, we were talking about Silverbacks 2013.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just I was asking what have you been up to? Basically, let's talk about this late. What have you been up to?
Lately, what I've been up to, I've been working the freelance scene. You know what I mean? After I stepped away from Copa, I did some work with Vice. I did some work with I had a food show. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah.
Oh,
$5.
Yeah, man. I did that for a little bit until I gained a little bit too much weight, and then since then I've just been working some new projects. You know what I mean? I just wrapped up writing for the Nike basketball commercial that was out for the playoffs. So that's what I just wrapped up on, and a lot of stuff coming in the future.
Cool. So for people who don't know Prez, basically just like he had mentioned, he used to work with Copa 90. Well, first off, he got discovered by Kick TV. There was a correspondent contest. Basically, they're trying to find their next big correspondent. And tell us what how that came about.
Yeah, Copa 90 put out some video. They were looking for somebody to kind of travel the world with and stuff like that. So I put in a video on literally the last day. I got a call a few weeks later. You know what I mean? They were gonna come to New York and shoot a video. Talk a little bit about my club, myself, and stuff like that. And Ellie Minjam shows up, and there's no football on because it's Thanksgiving. So he comes to my family's house, and we're shooting the shit. And I guess we made an epic video because I won. And then I did, when I was with Copa, I did most of their branded stuff. So a lot of the co-branded projects that they did with ESPN FC and NBC Sports. I did the Euros. We did stuff for Verizon and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good time, man.
Euro 2016. You did that with ESPN, right?
Yeah. I did that with ESPN FC and stuff like that. So, the Euros was 2016. Wait, was it 2016?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, damn. That sounds so long ago, man. I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
But yeah, man, for those who don't know, who is your club of choice?
My club of choice it's the New York Cosmos. But back in the day when I was still hopping in the bars and running around, I used to run around with the Manchester United guys watching them. So yeah, man.
Cool.
What do you mean? What do you mean used to? Like you used to be a fan of them now?
No,
Hold on, man.
I have a deep appreciation of Manchester United Football Club, but honestly, like when you get everything goes out the window. You know what I mean? There's no time to go to bars. You know what I mean? Like I'm preparing for the next match or whatever. So there's no time for me to like show up at a bar at like 8 a.m. and get shit faced. I'm trying to paint tifo. I'm trying to get ready. You know what I mean? Playing these trips, get out here.
Yeah, because Cosmos had their first game of the season on was it Saturday?
Yep.
How'd that game go?
Well, it worked out pretty well. We were a little bit worried with being double relegated and stuff like that. We were playing in the second division up until the USL took that, and now we're playing down in the NPSL in the fourth division. But we won. We beat a bunch of college kids 2-0. So it was still a party in the stands, and we actually pulled pretty well for our first game in the fourth division. So right around like a little over 3,000 people. So full stand. So it's good. Yo.
Prez.
Yeah, sorry about that. You want to try Skype?
Yeah, let's try Skype real quick. Let's try that.
All right, bet.
All right. So for people who don't already know about Cosmos, they were in a second division NESL, the reboot of NESL. Cosmos had 3 out of 4 championships.
Yep. No, 4 out of 5. No, yeah. Was it 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5? I ain't even sure no more. So that feels like forever ago.
4 out of 5. Now that I think about it, yeah.
So that was in like D3 USL.
No, two.
No, that was
NASL. Right. Yeah.
And basically, Cosmos went to war with U.S. Soccer and MLS, and yeah, they right now everything's kind of hurt right now. So basically, what's been going on?
Yeah, man. So we're still kind of fighting these lawsuits that I guess our club decided to jump into day fucking one. But good on them. But yeah, so we're still fighting these lawsuits. Of course, you have the one with Miami FC and Kingston Stockade, who are actually playing this weekend against the USSF. And then you have, of course, the one that the NASL formally is, has up against the USSF as well. They're 2 separate lawsuits. I don't believe that the Cosmos have an individual lawsuit with the USSF, but I know the former second division as a body does. And as far as that's going, we won't hear anything, I guess, until the next court date, which isn't set for a little bit of time. We're kind of at a stalemate. We've been fighting against the USSF since day one. So I've never really been allowed to enjoy football. It's always been some sort of political bullshit for me. But hopefully if we win, the game will be significantly different than it is right now.
Yeah, so Cosmos, especially being double relegated, how do you feel about, NYCFC coming into town and like what's your opinion? How's your feelings towards like New York City?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll tell you this. I'll try to give you the quick and short story. New York is very small. Of course, it all started with like Metro Stars and Red Bulls, and then when Metro Stars turned into Red Bulls, a lot of people left like being Red Bull fans and started this NYC to MLS thing, which became the Borough Boys, which got the Cosmos. And then later on, we found out that the Cosmos and MLS were beefing, so we weren't going to get that MLS spot. We decided that we already threw our bed with the Cosmos, and they were our club, and they deserved our support. So we stuck with them, and everybody who left our fandom to go to NYCFC or left after that, even those are the people that ended up at City. So I feel a little bit strongly about NYCFC. There's a lot of people who, there's a lot of good people over there. Your boy who you had on, I know he's out in the scene, and I know he's doing it for the culture for them. He's cool people, but there's a lot of people at NYCFC I don't speak to anymore, and it's on site. So it is what it is. Yeah. It's like that. I mean, every time we've ever played each other, we clash. And I'm not talking because there are good people, you know what I mean? There are people who who just sit in the main stand and just have NYCFC's hat, just chilling. And that's cool. I know they don't have any sort of connection to them as a thing, but there are people who were at that club who were Cosmos fans even maybe 2 years ago. And it's every time we played each other in Open Cup or even the fan tournaments or that little five-a-side that they throw on in the middle of Times Square. It's always been a thing. So, I mean, I can only imagine it's always gonna be a thing.
So yeah, you mentioned.
Is that too hot for y'all? I'm sorry.
Oh, let's keep it going. We want more hot fight. Yeah.
But
I want the truth.
Speaking of some of those games, I think it was the 2015 Open Cup, the one at Hofstra.
Yo.
So tell us about your experience, because I asked Rox about that one, and he was like he was about to start splitting on everybody. So tell me your experience from the green and white side.
Yeah, so I mean that was the first derby we ever had against them, and I mean we've been itching for that one for a long time. I know that at the time they didn't care about us; it was more like a one-sided type thing. But we definitely made sure that at least they'll definitely care about us now. You know what I mean? Even if we didn't, if we didn't win on the field, we were going to try to win off the field in regards to being louder than them, supporting, at least making our case for, our club's existence. So yeah, man, that game was hot, man. That game was hot. That was the first time we ever clashed. I remember that, man. It was crazy. A lot of people are banned from Hofstra forever. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I was going to ask that's basically the match that basically got a Cosmo kicked out of Hofstra.
Yeah, yep. Right after that. So, I mean, when we played Red Bull, it was kind of it was banter. It was rivalry because at that point, we got over the beefs and the scraps that we had back in the day. So it was all peace. We didn't like each other, but we were never gonna clash like we did back in the day. I know that some of the old Borough Boys and Empire Supporters Club used to clash just because it was like early on and shit like that. But I kind of think like we got over that. But when we played City, yo, son, I've never seen football derby like that since
ever.
I went to Mexico. Like, no, just in America, in the US, I've never seen that. And I've never seen that. And I've seen everything at this point. You know what I mean? I've seen Toronto, Montreal, I've seen Vancouver, Seattle, all that Portland stuff. It's cool. But City, NYC, Cosmos, NYCFC, there's nothing hotter than that. It's too hot. It's way too hot. I've been to Mexico and that shit had me shook. Like, it's crazy.
So when you say it's hot, like everybody's catching hands and throwing hands and all that.
Ooh, boy, yo, just for nothing. I don't even think the clubs are ready because it was like people are just standing in line for the bathroom. People that aren't even like in a crew, not rolling or nothing, like they're just scrapping with other people in the line. I'm like, dads on dads. It's like, yo, your kids are right behind you. What's up? You know what I mean? It was like, I remember one guy, yo, it was crazy. I remember one guy was just like, he was like, one guy, I think it was like one guy with his like kids, like teenage kids. They're walking over to the bathroom on our end of the ground. They have their own bathrooms that were set up on their side to keep them separate from us. But they literally walked to use the bathroom like on the other side of the stadium. So they were being dickheads. So just one random Cosmos dad was like, yo, don't use his bathroom. So the young kid was like, yo, you ain't gonna fucking tell me what to do. And then they got into it. And that's actually how it kicked off. Because once that happened, all shit went loose. Like were fighting up and down the stand, like
tripping on the bathroom.
Not that ass. Like you would have thought, but like that's exactly. I remember because I was standing right behind one of my boys, and then it popped off at the bathrooms between those two dads. I was like, oh, bet.
This is what this is like.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. And then the thing is like, it's like, we were on our side of the stand, we were on their side of the stand, we were on top, on the bottom, you know what I mean? Everywhere. It was crazy. And it's not something that you kind of want to be like, yo, this is the game or whatever. But like in regards to like a derby, like I've never seen that. I've never seen that in American soccer anywhere. Nothing as hot as that. And you get the Red Bull boys always talking about DC back in the day. It was hot, but like there's no derby like that. I think the only thing that probably comes close is Tampa, Orlando. That's hot because those guys do not like each other. Or if y'all ever play the Silverbacks, that's gonna be crazy. So yeah, that's just how it's like.
They ain't get an owner.
I swear. I mean, y'all got your own issues with that, but you know what I mean. But
but I want that. Like I
want that too. A derby is what makes the game exciting.
There needs to be multiple clubs in the same city because you'll have those lines. It's like you have always supported the Cosmos. You'll no matter if another they make a New York 3, you'll always be Cosmos. Fuck everybody else. And we need that here in Atlanta. It's like because a lot of people just jump ship on the Silverbacks, and there's a lot of Silverback fans that say they'll never go to an Atlanta United match. Mm-hmm. So like that's how you grow the game here. Is you have to have that diehard fandom up and down the pyramid.
Abso-freaking-lutely, my guy. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get in conversations like, yo, do these guys feel me? Do they understand what it's like? But honestly, like if you love this game, you know a good derby when you see it, and it draws those lines, and it just like gasses itself up. So I know a lot of people who like no matter what, like just random like families, just like not even like hardcore section people that will follow the Cosmos over that NYCFC clash. Like they're just like, yo, this is my team forever. I don't give a shit.
I think what's also interesting, Prez, from your standpoint is that, I run into a lot of people from overseas who you ask them who they're fans of, or like just yesterday I ran into a guy who's from England or whatever, and he was saying that he was a Sheffield Wednesday fan,
Mm-hmm.
and like
got promoted, yeah,
right. And so like here,
Sheffield United got promoted,
but like here in the States, since it's the culture of soccer is just now starting to become mainstream, and everybody's liking the top teams or whatever, you rarely those people that are fans of like that niche type of team. Whereas I hate to say it, even though with all the history of the original Cosmos and now the new, the rebirth, if you will, and it's cool to hear that like there's still that that vibrant energy and that like don't fuck with us type of mentality.
Yeah, man. And what?
See that because otherwise we have a lot of like IKEA style fans if you get my drift.
Oh yeah, man.
But that's what tournaments like the Open Cup are important to me here because you get teams like Cosmos, you get Tampa Bays, you get these clubs that no one really heard about.
Yeah.
Or like, unless you've been in the scene, you were on, the soccer forums back in the day, and like stuff like that's the only way you hear about it. But that's exciting. So like, our Cosmos did they make the next round of the Open Cup? Do you know?
Did they let?
Wait for after that year?
Yeah, I'm talking about like right now. The tournament's kicking off.
Oh, right now. Well, we're gonna start. We start in the first round, so we're playing a team from some fucking place in the middle of no fucking where. Respect to those people. Respect to them. I forget their name. I think they're called BlackRock. Actually, I don't know where that is, but it's probably somewhere in the Northeast. Maybe they'll have a few fans, and that's cool. You know what I mean? We're always cool with people who are cool with us. And yeah, it'll be fun qualifying for the first round. Excuse me. Because last year, no, not even last year. When we last played the Open Cup, which might be 2 years ago. Damn, I'm old. Yeah, we didn't even get past our third round or second round at the time. We lost to like Reading United, which was affiliated with like Philadelphia Union or some shit. So that was pretty depressing. So I hope we I hope we do well qualifying out of the first round, but it's going to be different.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with Cosmos, Prez, tell us about basically what the culture is of Cosmos today. Of course, everyone knows all about, Pele and Beckenbauer and Carlos Alberto. Like what is Cosmos of 2019?
Yeah, so Cosmos of the 2019 is honestly, like with the history and all that stuff, is great, and we respect it, and it's there for us to kind of inherit. But the ethos of the
burden for a while.
Burden, yeah.
What was that? Sorry, what burned for a while?
I said that it was a bit of a burden for a while because it felt like everything that the team had to do was kind of the matchup, which had to compare to what they did back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean it was a bit of a burden on the club for a little while. I mean, it's not as if it didn't work out for us. I mean, we did get Marco Senna, one of the greatest midfielders of all time, to kind of to kick off this kind of new era of the club. But the ethos is completely different. Honestly, like we're almost a completely different club in regards to mentality. Yes, we like to play good football. That's probably one of the only things that carried over. We love beautiful football, but other than that, like we're not looking to spend the most money on the biggest, shiniest player. We'd rather get like a good veteran and surround them with some young boys from the area. You know what I mean? A lot of boys from Jackson Heights and Corona and stuff. We had a lot of that coming through our team at the time. We get the odd journeyman, but we were a very scrappy team, and our mentality was always from the jump because of this war that we kind of inherited from the U.S. beefing with the USSF for so long and MLS. It's always been that us versus them hardcore mentality from the club, from the top all the way to the bottom. So, like, you can imagine, like, you know what I mean? Our Rocco, I mean, we already have our beef with MLS and USSF for a separate reason. But like when your owner is a bajillionaire and also has that same beef, has that same hardcore mentality, you can only imagine what kind of trouble we're going to get into. And of course, we've been in a fair amount of trouble from the top and the bottom. So,
Rocco got beef with everybody.
Wait, what happened?
Rocco Camiso got beef with everybody.
Yo, and you know what? He has his own little ways. He's a bajillionaire. I ain't gonna say who he voted for. I don't know who he voted for, but yo, that boy love a good beef, and I stand for it as long as it's in my pocket.
Well, cool, man. So have you really been watching Man United lately? Like, can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, man. Let's get into it. So, United's been kind of shit for a little bit, and that's okay.
So,
I mean, how do you feel about it?
So Sunday we had United versus Chelsea. That ended up in a 1-1 draw. Mm-hmm. Of course, you have all of this out, like basically all the good shit that started with Ole Gunnar back in December and January. Now all of a sudden you can't win a game to save his life, and you have a lot of people that are still coming up on their contracts at the end of the season where they could basically just leave on a free and not have to go through all the transfer fees or anything like that. So, like, what's basically been your viewpoint as far as how things have broken down? Of course, obviously from this past week because you had Barca, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, who lost to last week. So, yep. Where are you really seeing where the club's going right now?
Well, I don't necessarily. I mean, I don't think any fan of United or even fans of big institutions like United, you don't like to see stuff like that. You don't like seeing them struggle or fail or anything, unless you're from Liverpool or whatever. But you know what I mean. But it's hard to watch somebody die in slow motion. But that's exactly what I feel is happening, just kind of on a slow scale. Because I mean, the problems that they have aren't just on the field. I mean, it's one thing if you got the players that it's clearly not Ole's fault at this point. I don't think, in my opinion. Because, it's not as if they don't have the ability. They clearly showed us they had the ability by winning that line of games. But to kind of crap out now again, and for I wouldn't say the same, but very similar reasons, it's the players, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I think I definitely have to agree with you that we're also still seeing the true essence of what's going on at the heart of the team. Like, even though when Jose was in control, Jose has his, power trip issues and his narcissistic ways. But, as soon as Ole took the reins, he, obviously that was good. But as soon as that contract was signed for him, we haven't seen any success in that regard. But still, what's been interesting is that it seems like the players have gotten a little bit too relaxed and too confident. I mean, not even too confident, just too relaxed. I mean, Cia's with, De Gea's play has been very subpar. He's having all, these mistakes that have been.
And he has attitude problem.
Right, and he actually looks like De Gea.
And he mad at you too. He's like, yo, why'd I go in it? Fuck you. I'm like, yo, bro, you let it in. Like, why you mad at me? What the fuck?
So you got that issue, and then of course, the elephant in the room with the Pogba issue, and I've since day one, I've always wanted to see Pogba succeed. Black man, he's brought the whole style to the game and everything. But at the same time, like I hate to sound like every other pundit, like he's got to step up.
Have you watched any of the Sky Sports videos with Roy Keane? That boy is not like Pogba.
Well, I mean. From that,
nah, man, it's crazy. I will say this. Listen, man, Pogba is his own man, and of course, me as myself, a black guy, young dude. I want to see another black young dude killing it on the field. Right. If he ends up being the greatest, sure, be my guest. But do I want to see him eat shit on my team? No, fuck out of here, bro. Like, step off that fucking line. And if you're not really trying to do it, there are a lot of players behind him that would love to get it done. There's a lot of like old fuckery from like two, three horrible managers just wafting around that team. A lot of people need to get off that fucking payroll. One of my favorite things, when I said, hey man, shit was going bad at United, it was probably, and I always mention it, and Greg will tell you, it was the day that we sold PK to Barcelona to keep Jones on the fucking payroll. Yo, I almost died, bro. I almost died. I was like, yo, bro, you gave up the best central defender of all time to keep fucking Jones, ugly ass face, bro. Fuck out of here.
Part of it is because they wanted to make sure they had that English background too. So that they wanted to,
bro. Fuck, we don't make start up in this Jamaican, bro.
You still had Vidic, you still had Ferdinand. Like I think that they probably thought that hey, these guys are going to last us another 10 years, and then just like always, like, and you see it like it's almost like every cycle, because before United had their run, the team was AC Milan, and eventually they fell off, and now like you're starting to see Real Madrid fall off to where they're needing new blood, and I think that with Man United, like you basically have two things working to get against you. One, you're still fighting the ghost of Sir Alex.
Yep.
And then two, because of what Sir Alex was to Man United, because the thing to keep in mind there is that he, among the top teams in England, he was the only one that was from there. Like everybody else is like from Portugal and France and Italy. They don't. Everybody else, like they're not prioritizing the British player, the English player at all. And as soon as you let him go, obviously they tried to have that same type of philosophy with David Moyes. That shit fell flat on his ass.
Give him a chance. They didn't give Moyes a chance.
Well, not only that, but like he had no chance.
He had no chance. He never should have took that job. That was a poison chalice, bro.
Guy to replace the guy. You want to be the guy to replace that other guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's how it is. But the thing is, Ole, give him a chance, man. It's like give him the summer, let him clean the house. Like there's reports that Rio Ferdinand is about to be sporting director, and so you get all these old heads that used to be around Manchester United who know what it's like to win, like teaching these young boys, like, yo, this is how we think at Manchester. They'll be fine. Next year will be good. Like this whole in doubt thing is it's rough right now.
I will say it was good to hear that Valencia, he's gonna be moving on.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like what was it like 6-7 years ago that he was Player of the Year.
Jeez, bro.
Like,
No, because that's the
and
thing.
he had that whole curse of the number 7 too. Remember, like
Yeah. Oh man, he wore number 7, didn't he? Oh man. Yo, we had some quick. Yo, son, when Ronaldo left, we just started throwing number 7 at any motherfucker on the field. Like, fucking Owen wore number 7 for United. Are you fucking losing it? Like, what? Man's played for fucking Liverpool. Are you kidding me? And you gave him the numbers? Yo, we were bugging. That's that crack. That's that crack rock.
That's true.
But that's 2 ghosts that you're fighting, because you're still fighting the ghost of Sir Alex, and then you're also fighting the ghost of Ronaldo. Like, I forgot who I was talking to yesterday, but like, someone basically brought up Ronaldo. I was like, one, you can't I think it's people have realized you can't replace a Ronaldo, like whatever, because there's not too many wingers out here, period, that can score at the clip that he scored, period, anywhere, whether it's Spain, England, Italy, whatever. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. There is, like, you might as well just go ahead and say, hey, let's work with a Beckham. Can we get that? Like, can we work with that? Because going after Ronaldo, that shit ain't working.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been like that for a while now, though.
But it was good to hear Valencia say that, like, he had no beef with management or anything like that, or no beef with anybody at the club. Like, because remember, he hasn't touched field since January. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, but then again, why would he ever have beef with? I mean, they made his career. I knew he came over from like I don't know if he came from a club in South America, but I mean, the man he's Venezuelan, right?
Yeah. No, he's Ecuadorian.
Ecuadorian. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. God damn. Shouldn't have hit that before. You know what? I got on. I had some blueberry before I got on, so I'm a little hazy. Let y'all know. I don't know if that's allowed on your podcast, but whatever, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry. So yes, he is from that country. Yeah, man. But like, it's so hard for players to come out of countries like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's South America, but to make it at United, I mean, I would never have beef. I'd ride that fucking bench.
But no, like what I was getting at is that you've had once you realize that Moyes isn't going to work, and so it's like we have to start hiring 4 managers. And for those of you who don't know, like, United's always had like a very no matter what big purchases, big players that they purchased, they've always had a strong domestic core, whether it's England, Scotland, Irish. They've always had that strong core, and you end up buying guys that's not from there, who have a totally different mindset and perspective on things, and they're not nearly as attached to Man United being Man United from their point of view, and you end up with a bunch of guys that either have stayed there too long and are no longer the guys who they were when they first got there, or they should have never been in the first place.
Yeah, I can see that. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. I mean, but think about it like this: just the way that the game is right now, we'll never see that kind of like somebody like coming in and doing it right and then leaving at the right time ever again. You know what I mean? Like, Fergie was the last of it. So, I mean, whatever comes from now, I don't know. I don't even know what the modern game is going to look like next year. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I wish they do better. Fuck it. I don't know. So, but actually, before we switch over to the next thing, I actually had a question for y'all.
What's up?
Because I didn't want to stray too far from, talking about, your club. Who are y'all hyped to play in the Open Cup? Like, who's your beef? Who you trying to get at? I hear things are pretty hot with Orlando, but
Is it? It's so.
I mean, they talk shit on y'all all the time.
Yeah, they talk shit about everybody.
Like, Orlando is like, it might be damn near meth capital of the world. So so like, honestly, man, like, if you want to get at it with anybody, like Miami, what's the club down there in Miami? Yeah, Miami. Yes. I think last year would have been our chance of winning a double. if we didn't, shit the bed down there. So like if the stars align.
No. Last year we lost to Chicago. The first year.
The year before
was Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. So like them or I still like, to me personally, DC United is always our kryptonite.
Yeah.
Mm.
So like I would love to see DC high in the tournament and just knock them out, man. Because the team is good. Like there's beef on the field. Like DC fans really don't travel. So like we really don't get that chance.
You know who don't travel? Orlando doesn't travel. Cause they just played NYC last week.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there.
Yo.
Meth, man, you can't get a real job. But so that's with the Open Cup to me. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
But like getting back to New York. So like with everything that you've done over pretty much the last 10 years now, like what is your viewpoint as far as like where New York soccer culture can really go from here? You still have basically Red Bulls, NYC, you have Cosmos doing their thing. Like how does that environment flow, and where do you see it going from here?
As far as New York football culture, I believe that a lot stems on the way it's going to go is it's very kind of connected to what happens in the next few, I guess, cycles. I called it from jump. You can ask anybody over at Copa 90 US. I said the US wasn't qualifying for the World Cup. We didn't. And you're seeing the effects of it now. You know what I mean? Drop off at Red Bull has been immense. They're tarping seats off. City claimed they had 11, 12,000. It looked more like 9,000 on TV. Cosmos are in the fourth division now. We still filled the ground, but that's 3,000 people. We used to do at least 7. So 7 to 11. So I feel like what happens in regards to the way that the game is treated here, a new TV contract ain't gonna do shit for people sitting in the stands. They're either gonna care about the game in this country or they're gonna, chill watching. So I think it's very important that the USSF or whoever the people in charge of,
MLS.
Yeah, MLS. Oh, good. I can say that. All right, bet. The people in power, do something about the state of the game because this is not sustainable. MLS going to 30 teams, bro. What? Come on, son. Unless you're trying to split up and create something new, you don't need 30 teams. Come on. And for how much? Something million, 40 million, or 100 million each? Yo, bro, you wildin'.
Million.
No, ain't nobody playing for that. Huh?
Yeah. Next, unless you get oil tycoon money.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. We ain't even pulling TV numbers like that. You know what I mean? As a whole.
Last episode, I think MLS is, we're modeling that NFL style. So we'll stop at 32. You'll have multiple divisions. I think that's what they want.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work though.
I know you soccer purists, you guys don't want it, but that's the reality we're gonna have.
Oh so no, it might actually be the reality, but I gotta do my best to fight against it because that's not what I believe in. And it's not even a purist thing. If you just think about it from an economic point of view, the numbers don't fucking make sense. You know what I mean? They bleed money every year. And then the biggest income is from expansion. Unless we get a significant boost in the next few years, say they go to 30 team and the next time they go to 30, if they're still bleeding money and we're not getting TV money, then they're going to start bleeding money and not have the chance for expansion. There's only so many states. There's only so many cities. You know what I mean? Before we start.
I'm telling you.
Sorry. Am I cutting too deep? Am I breaking up your little dream, your little capitalist dream over there? Welcome to the world outside of MLS, bro. It's dark here and it's communism.
Man, listen, man, it's nothing but rosebuds and flower pots.
I'm saying though, it was weird because I was talking, literally, I was interviewing with somebody yesterday from a magazine, and they were American soccer is growing and stuff, and we'd love to know what's happening in America. And I'm like, yo, cool, man. That's awesome. I'm down with that. You know, soccer is trying to grow. It's trying to do its best. What do you mean try? And I was like, well, bro, outside of MLS, everything's on fire and everybody's dying. So, I mean, if you look.
But you're right there. Outside of MLS, everyone is starving. And
that's everybody's hungry. And it's not even like that. Like, jobs is on the line, son. Like,
and that's people. The thing. U.S. soccer isn't doing their job as a federation at protecting the pyramid. I mean, and I personally have a problem with that. Like, I love MLS. Like, I've always loved MLS.
Really?
Like, with its problems, you couldn't tell. Tell. But like, you're right. We need to add some structure below MLS and start feeding some of these. Like, some of that TV money needs to trickle down. Like,
it does.
Solidarity payments and all that. We need to start paying like USL, NPSL, USL. I mean, what is it? United Soccer Premier, USPL. Yeah. Like, these clubs need to start.
It needs to go all the way down, bro. Like, even like it's simple stuff. It's simple maths, bro. It's simple math. Like,
see, that's the thing though. It's because MLS keeps saying, "Yo, we're competing with Premier League and stuff like that."
You're not though.
But exactly, but they keep telling that
with Mexico,
and it's blinding people that lower divisions aren't getting the love they need. And U.S. soccer just seems like whatever. We're getting money from youth soccer. We don't care.
No, U.S. soccer, not even that, bro. Like, I mean, look at how much money they made, like selling the combined U.S. national teams and MLS contract. I mean, it's not going to stop them from bleeding. I mean, it's not going to stop MLS from bleeding, but the money that the USSF takes, it's not as if they're losing because they sell out their stadiums. Up until recently, they qualified for World Cup. The women are world champions times over, but yet they had a record they had a record year in regards to bringing money in. I forget the exact report that it was. They had a record year, and that was the same year that the women said, "Yo, you need to pay us equal," and they tried to pretend like they was broke.
Yeah.
So no, the federation's not even even at the top level, they're screwing up. You mean you can't pay women equal, bro? Yo, you wildin', son. What if that's my daughter, son? It's beef. It's beef, like on a spiritual level with me. So that's why, I mean, being a Cosmos fan in New York doesn't only mean you like the Cosmos. It comes with a whole bunch of like soccer political shit. So as far as soccer in New York, it's gonna get deeper. It's gonna get more hardcore in regards to the love for the game and the love for these clubs that these people have. Because when the game's struggling, you're gonna trench into your club. Cosmos people again. We struggle all the time, but now that Red Bull are seeing less numbers and City are seeing less numbers. These people who stay, these people who fight for these clubs are now gonna be like, yo, this is my club. Yo, fuck it, we riding. And then my best case scenario is that, maybe the USSF sees the light of day and they make some reforms. I'm not even asking for anything crazy, but I'm at least asking for, my club to be allowed to survive, to have the chance to survive.
For the great chart to grow 3 times the size and just start bursting out the seams and all that shit.
Equitable funding, yeah, man. I feel you, Prez. I feel you.
So one last question before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's been way too long since you and I have really chopped it up anyway. But the St. Pauli game, how did that come about?
So back in the day, in 2007, when I was rolling with the Borough Boys, there's still a bunch of them out there, but we're all old now. I was the youngest of them, and I'm turning 30. My body's not working no more. I got the young boys on the terraces I can't keep up with, son. It's mad out here. But anyways, back in those days, we as Cosmos fans, the Borough Boys came out of a Celtic bar. We were founded with a lot of kind of Celtic, the football club, vibes around it. You know what I mean? Those people ended up founding AO NYC, AO North Jersey, a lot of the AOs that came out of the Northeast at that time were influenced by AO NYC and kind of what happened at that time. As well as being connected to Celtic is connected to St. Pauli. So those Cosmos fans, some local St. Pauli fans, and Celtic fans all came together to create St. Pauli NYC. And I believe the end of last year was their 10th year anniversary. And even from Jump Street, St. Pauli NYC has been they have a bigger fan base than Cosmos fans, just because they attract a bigger club. So you'll get people who come on vacation from Hamburg to New York, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, in regards to like people who would come from Hamburg, be in New York, and come to that club, or locals, or Celtic fans, or Cosmos fans, and to the point where players started showing up every offseason. And then the president of the club started showing up every offseason. And with our connection with St. Pauli NYC, a lot of Cosmos fans are, we know the president, Oki, of St. Pauli on a first name basis. You know what I mean? We know some of the players who come to New York. I got photos with like Kala, who is a midfielder, defender for years at St. Pauli. You know what I mean? And he just showed up at the bar, and we all got shit-faced. It was lit. So I mean, after that, we started it's a proper friendship in New York. St. Pauli NYC and Cosmos fans and Celtic fans. In New York, we all go together. So, it was only a matter of time. We'd always been discussing it amongst ourselves. And when Oki came, we suggested it one time, and maybe it stuck. He started showing up at Cosmos games, and with this new thing that's going on with the German Football Federation, kind of pushing Bundesliga clubs to play games in the U.S. in the summertime. St. Pauli was like, well, if we want to collect on our German Federation money, let's play friendly. They started off with Detroit because they kind of have that similar ethos in that way, and then they did Portland too, and now they're doing us. But I want to say, they're doing us in Buffalo. But I want to say, I think for us maybe it's a little bit special because we've been connected on this level for 10 years now. We send boys over to Hamburg for the derby every year. And, so the back and forth has already started in regards to just kind of just being cool, being people for 10 years. And then it happened.
Yo, I still need my jersey.
Yeah, son. I mean, why don't you just come and get that shit, bro? Why are you stalling? You like New York. Come on.
What you have?
Are we traveling now?
Why you have to?
Are we traveling up to New York? That's what we're doing?
I mean, ain't no but spirit.
I mean, if y'all want to come through, be my guest, bro. I'll take care of y'all.
If you risk your life, we will do that. But yo, Prez, my guy, man, I'm so glad you came up on this bitch, man. But
man, I'm glad to do it anytime y'all guys need. You know what I mean? I was just like, yo, why it took so long though?
Yo, we've been trying to build, man. We had to get up to your level, man.
It's all good. It's all good, bro.
Still building.
Yeah, we still trying to figure this out. Hey, a day at a time.
You know what? Y'all doing a damn good job because I'll tell you what, y'all are out here. You know what I mean? Y'all are doing something, and if y'all are still recording, y'all are doing something that is very important. On so many levels to have black voices speaking our game, because for a long time I just thought it was me and Greg. You know what I mean? We were just out here just like, yo. Yeah, it's like, where are all the black people who like soccer? I mean, yeah, there are a ton in New York, but in regards to how we care about the game, it's one thing if my family loves Manchester United and Chelsea and Arsenal, but it's another thing to connect with another black fellas like y'all, who support the local game, who give a shit about the things that I care about, as a first generation American boy. So, y'all doing cool shit. Keep doing your thing, and we'll always be right behind y'all.
That's gonna be the drop every episode.
Hey, y'all do a drop right now if y'all want.
Hey, there you go. We do it.
I bet.
Where can people find you on the socials, man?
You can find me at Prez 10 Points on Twitter and only Twitter. Don't follow me nowhere else. I don't know you nowhere else. But y'all can find me on Twitter. Don't email me. Don't follow my Instagram. Don't.
I follow your Instagram.
No, you can. You can. I know you. You know what I mean? But Twitter, if you looking for that smoke, Twitter. You know my name, Prez. We out here 10 years. But there you go.
My guy. Yo, what was I about to tell you, man? Like I said, I need my jersey. I will be up there before the end of this season. We will figure this shit out. But my guy, I always got love for you, man.
Man, we out here.
I'll be hitting you very soon. All right.
All right, bet. Let me know when that shit's out.
Cool.
Hey, man, we appreciate it, man.
Good night, gents.
All right, man.
Indeed.
Peace.